Following the siege of Dakar, the attack on the meager resistance fleet, and the Battle of Crait, the First Order's leadership and military capabilities were permanently altered. Snoke was dead, his massive flagship the Supremacy was lost, and dozens of First Order capital ships and starfighters were destroyed. But even with all those losses, the Resistance fleet was completely decimated, while the First Order was beginning to sweep across the galaxy and pull new star systems into its sphere of control. In this video expose, I will describe what these other First Order forces were doing both during and following the Battle of Crait, and explain how a specific group of First Order officers reacted to the news that Supreme Leader Snoke was dead. As seen within the most recent arc of the Poe Dameron comic, just prior to the Resistance evacuation of Dakar, Leia assigned Black Squadron with a specific mission. While Poe would stay behind to assist the Resistance evacuation efforts, the rest of the squadron was to reach out to as many allies of the Resistance as possible to help in their fight against the First Order. And this is exactly what Black Squadron did. While the surviving members of the Resistance was fleeing the Supremacy, they first attempted to rally the Outer Rim planet of Pastoria. Having failed to persuade them, Black Squadron then moved on to the Mid-Rim world of Erkruk. Interestingly, we learned that following the Battle of Starkiller Base, the First Order began to launch attacks across the galaxy, going so far as the Mid-Rim. When the Prime Minister of Erkruk refused to submit to First Order rule, she sent out a distress call to the Resistance. Fortunately, Black Squadron arrived right on time to receive the call, and learned that the First Order heavy cruiser Fortitude was bombarding the planet's Grail City. While they were able to hide behind their shield, the loss of their defense grid through the efforts of First Order sympathizers meant that they would be helpless to the assault if the shield fell. While Jess and Sir Linda were given access through the shield to help get the defense grid back up, Snap and Kara continued to engage the First Order's TIE fighters. From there, the Battle of Grail City really isn't all that eventful. Snap and Kara take on TIEs despite being outnumbered 20-1. Sir Linda gets shot and killed, but then turns out to be okay despite a smoking hole in her chest. Then she goes all Stretch Armstrong on the top of a cave and spits acid in the face of a bunch of bad guys, allowing Jess to easily shoot them one by one. Then she tells Jess, "Nice shooting," and Jess replies, "Nice spitting." The conclusion to the Poe comic, everyone. Anyway, important for our video here, Poe eventually shows up following the Battle of Crait to assist his vastly outnumbered squadron. After helping the Black Squadron pilots against the First Order TIEs, Poe hails the Fortitude and its Colonel Barrett. When Poe introduces himself, the First Order Colonel doesn't believe him, having seen reports saying that Poe and the rest of the Resistance was killed at Dakar. When he disappoints her by confirming that neither he nor the Resistance is dead, Poe then delivers more shocking and contradictory news to the First Order officers. He reveals that the Resistance hadn't just destroyed Starkiller Base by that point, but also got rid of Snoke, the Supreme Leader's flagship Supremacy, numerous Star Destroyers and a Dreadnought, and with it all, thousands of First Order personnel. The information wasn't just heard by the First Order Colonel, but also by two other officers on the bridge, who were visibly shocked to hear Poe's revelations. Immediately, their first reaction was to consider who could possibly be in command of the First Order if Snoke was dead. With little consideration, one of the lieutenants on the Fortitude considered the possibility that General Hux, and not Kylo Ren, could be the potential new Supreme Leader, given that he hadn't been named specifically by Poe. At that point, the Colonel turned around to admonish the two officers, sure that Poe was lying. This demonstrated that even though the Battle of Grail City occurred a relatively significant amount of time following the Battle of Crait, news of Snoke's demise and the First Order situation in the aftermath of Crait hadn't yet reached the Mid-Rim and its forces positioned there. Ultimately, Black Squadron was able to reactivate the defense grid, and by momentarily dropping the city's shields, destroyed the First Order's heavy cruiser. Nevertheless, with Erkruk throwing in on the side of the Resistance, it appears that the losses continued to mount for the First Order following Crait, and they were in relative disorder following the loss of the Supremacy and their Supreme Leader. So there we have it, how First Order sympathizers had acid spit in their face. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... For come on.